only as many as 6% of the population actually admitted to being atheists. So there was a gap of some 9% people who weren't sure one way or the other. It appears if the 85% was a correct figure. Quite apart from anything else, you'd want to ask what was the methodology they used in the survey anyway. It's like that. I've never believed any of the figures that have been given for the number of gay people in the population, because they're varied so widely, and I never know what questions people get asked and what they count as a positive or a negative answer. It's just that these surveys, you have to know more than just the bare figures, it seems to me. But in any case, 15% of the population, or even 6%, is millions of people. You know, the party is hardly going to be numbered in tens of millions, I think, by the time it won't need to be. So, whilst I would agree that if we are excluding people on an insubstantial basis, or an unjustifiable basis, we should actually address that. I don't think it's quite as bad or as life-threatening as what some people have tried to argue that it is.
It was Roger and then Simon and then Peter. I don't know, maybe we should sort of draw to an end fairly soon after that. But anyway, Roger.
Yeah. Well, I'm grateful for the religious teaching I had in my pre-teen school days, because it acted as a carrier for a set of moral values. I've ditched the religion, but I haven't ditched the moral values. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, if I could just quote from scripture for a moment, i.e. the economic and philosophic manuscript. Marx said, we pluck the flowers from the chain, not to wear the chain without illusions, but to reach down and pluck the living flower. Now that's pretty cryptic, but what he actually meant is that when we decide to be sort of atheistic, we get rid of all these religious nonsense and whatever in order to become communists. That doesn't mean that we just want to be dour, sort of joyless creatures for the rest of our days, and that the revolution is just basically to kill off all the Catholics and Protestants, so that all of us can be dour and joyless. What it means is it means rescuing back everything that's been taken from us. Now, sort of like these religions basically have bottled and poisoned all of these ideas that sort of, our friends have that are religious or whatever. Also, even in ourselves, like even after we've got rid of the religion, a lot of our sort of dispositions today, the way we think about the world, are precisely those that we're left with after religion has flowed over us, and we've just got rid of the religion. We haven't got back what religion took from us. So we do need to be very careful about that. That when we're talking about revolution, we're talking about revolutionising everything, not just basically making capitalism work without capitalists.
Yeah, Peter and then.
I've said enough. It's okay. It's okay. All I wanted to say was like
Briefly,
human-centred morality.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Peter.
2 or 3 years ago up in Edinburgh, was a tremendous demonstration in Edinburgh. Hundreds of thousands of people were turning up to get rid of the poverty and that kind of thing. And lots of good folk were turning up there, religious folk, and had a belief that with this demonstration that they were going to do something about it and that type of thing. And that's the trouble with religion. They're looking for this change of heart in people, whereas socialists are looking for a change in society to get rid of these things. Religion, for me, boy, I always got the idea that religion was really telling you that everything was really all right. That if you follow these particular rules that lay down for you, the world would be a good place now. After all, it's in the good book, thou shalt not steal. So that's me quoting the scriptures now. But one thing about that is that if we do have socialism, there'll be no need for anybody to steal. So, I think we're doing the right good turn here if we get socialism.
Howard?
No, I agree.
No. Vince, then maybe the last point, but who's that? Yeah,
Stair.
Vince and then Stair and then call it a day. Yeah. Right.
I think the one of the important points that we need to put forward towards religious people who might be interested in what we've got to say is that the big problem that religious ideas impose is that they try to get human beings to surrender their power either to a god or a deity and rely on that fictitious individuals, if that's a personalised religion or if it's an organised religion, or if the person belongs to some organised religion, they have to surrender their will and their capabilities to some priest, to some bishop, to some pope or some archbishop, and ultimately to the god who's at the top of the hierarchy. Ideas like that, whether they're connected with organised religion or personalised religions, just with a deity, are just incompatible with the outlook that we've got of life, of human beings being in control of things and changing things for themselves, and that's what we need to emphasise to religious people.
Stair?
Yeah, I think one of the things that's sort of been a little bit missing from this, discussion is the fact of what's been said is religion would be quite nice as long as socialism would be good if didn't have all these religious elements coming into it and this, that, and the other, and if only they'd ditch the irrational. Well, one big thing that's missing from that sort of analysis is, we've got to look at how, most religious views operate and exist, and that's on fear, based on fear, people fearing themselves. And socialism is a world where, we're acting responsibly and we're looking at ourselves to solve the problems of the world. And, fear, people being frightened of religion, many people who do so-called good things in the name of religion might be acting in that way because they fear that they'll go to hell if they didn't. So there's got to be the return to, the human, who you are, and how you want to relate to other people. And, fear, as well as the carrots that are dangled in front of workers, fear is the next thing that they get you with to conform into society. And, religion has played a massive part in, keeping us fearful. I mean, as socialists, I think it should be, an imperative that we sort of challenge that as much as possible as individuals, and challenge this sort of fear and encourage others not to be frightened. Because the more people who do that, the less capitalism's got a grip. We're encouraged to fear the state, we're encouraged to fear our parents, we're encouraged to fear school, we're encouraged to fear all through our lives our employer. And if we don't break that, as individuals as well, then we're just going to be having nice little talks on, well, if only. We fear our own ability to, make sense of the world because we think some intellectual or expert or who's had a good education has, got a better knowledge of things.
Howard,
Well, I have to say, thanks for the discussion. Lots of sort of different and interesting views expressed. None of them sort of, take away from the party or opposition to religion and the ideas that underlie it. I think it has been a discussion worth having. Thanks very much.